You should understand if other people are too picky in buying cars. After all, buying one isn't cheap. A decent unit already costs $20,000 when brand new, and that doesn't include insurance and other purchase-related expenses. So right from the get-go, you would want to make sure that you are buying something that you don't want to regret. I've been a car geek for quite some time, so I know firsthand that not all vehicles you see on the roads right now can give a satisfying nod to your hard-earned cash. If you are too conscious about every penny you spend, then avoid the mistake of buying the cars that I've listed here. Hello everyone, this is Ted from CarlandTV. Take the back seat as in this episode, I am going to reveal some of the specific car models that you should never purchase because of their problem-riddled reputation. Before I start, I would like to ask you the favor of hitting the subscribe and notification bells. They help the channel a lot. Now buckle up and let's get back to the video. 2024 Jeep Wrangler. It's quite surprising that the Jeep Wrangler, despite being a popular off-roading SUV due to its rugged hardware and customizable features, is still a hodgepodge of issues. Right from the get-go, the 2024 model of the Jeep Wrangler has already been strangled to several consumer concerns. The most frequent issue is on its engine. According to reports, the engine is quick to overheat, and it's also prone to excessive oil consumption. Of course, this means that the engine life is at risk and could entail risks of breakdowns in unlikely locations. These issues may also require you to replace the engine entirely, which, in the grand scheme, outweighs the value that this off-roader brings. There's also a prevailing negative sentiment about its transmission. Even a friend told me that his 2024 Jeep Wrangler has difficulties in shifting. I don't know what's the cause of this, but the thing is, the problem exists, and that's something you need to be wary about. But hey, why should you take these cautions when you can just detour and just avoid buying this vehicle? 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. Buying the 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage is tempting. Its starting price is way below $20,000, so right from the get-go, the car is meant to appease the entry-level market for small hatchbacks. Of course, there's also this idea that the 2024 Mirage is among the few subcompact hatchbacks that are left on its market. People these days seem to dig into things that are rare or have novelty on them. But to be frank, those things that I've mentioned aren't heavy justifications for you to bring home the 2024 Mirage. The best way I can describe it is that the 2024 Mirage isn't affordable. Instead, it's cheap. And don't take this from me. I'm just merely reporting the data I've got for this particular car. Right from the start, I never had intentions of buying this vehicle, and seeing the bad reviews made me glad that I was never attracted to it. For starters, the car isn't fun or engaging to drive. It's rough on the edges, and definitely, its lackluster power further drags its drivability. And I'm not even exaggerating things here. The three-cylinder engine of this car only outputs 78 horsepower, so it's just slightly better than your standard electric cart. 2020-2023 Nissan Sentra. The latest models of Nissan Sentra are honestly lacking and lukewarm in my opinion. I don't know, but the recent Nissan products on the automotive market have the same bland feel to them. A lot of them are susceptible to reliability problems, and the rest are just not fun or engaging to drive. Take the 2020 to 2023 models of the Nissan Sentra. Right from the get-go, all of us are already familiar with the Sentra model. It has been around for many years already, and so far, it has been a satisfactory city commuter. But things gradually started to change when Nissan introduced the 2020 Sentra. This particular Sentra model is riddled with a number of mechanical and electrical problems. For example, its CVT transmission is extremely annoying. It jerks and hesitates frequently, even while you are driving. It prevents the car from accelerating smoothly, and in some cases, could potentially induce unsafe driving conditions for other commuters while you are driving under heavy traffic. But that's not the only issue with the latest Nissan Sentra models. Their engines are also a source of concern for most owners. This was not the case for the 2007 to 2010 models of Nissan Sentra. They were the sixth generation of the said lineup and boasted impeccable engines that could last 250,000 miles or so. For the new Sentra, I don't think consumers could expect the same dependability on their engines. That's for sure. So yeah, Just avoid this car for the time being. 2023 Nissan Armada. Another Nissan on the list, huh? But what can you expect? It seems that Nissan is becoming the opposite of Toyota these days, despite the two companies having to start on the same international markets and consumers. Going back, the 2023 Nissan Armada is a car that you should avoid buying at all costs. For starters, this car is currently the biggest in the Nissan bunch, and it is powered by a powerful V8 engine. Sure, it has the muscles for towing and moving things inside or outside your state. But the irony here is that its biggest selling point is also its greatest weakness. Wow, it seems that is a line stuck to me after watching the World War Z movie. So you see, the 2023 Nissan Armada is a fuel-thirsty SUV. Well, a lot of you might say that this is the case for other large SUVs, but apparently it's not. Full-size models like the Jeep Wagoneer, Chevrolet Tahoe, and Toyota Sequoia are already fuel-savvy for their size. The Nissan Armada? Not that much. EPA estimates that its fuel efficiency rating is just 13 miles per gallon on cities and 18 miles per gallon on highways. That means frequent trips to fuel stations. At the same time, its handling and maneuverability aren't that refined. Of course, I am aware that large SUVs aren't that ideal for driving in tight spaces or cramped parking lots. However, the 2023 Armada had it worse. Its handling is subpar, and its maneuverability is too rough to get over. Plus, don't forget that it has some reliability issues too. So if you want to avoid any of those inconveniences, better not go with this SUV. 2022-2023 Chrysler 300. Have you ever driven a Chrysler 300? You see, there was a point in time when I fell in love with this full-size car. I think its best years were 2017 to 2018 when the car was still new on the market. But after that, the Chrysler 300 just went on a slow decline. Like, what's happening with this car in the first place? In fact, the reputation of the Chrysler 300 got so bad that it has been listed by Money Inc. as one of the cars that should be avoided at all costs. The justifications were pretty straightforward, and I agree with all of them. The 2022 and 2023 Chrysler 300 in particular are just behind in the competition when it comes to in-car technology. I suggest that you get a Toyota Crown or a Genesis electrified G80 if you want generous driving provisions without spending too much. And yes, the Chrysler 300 is too expensive for the value it delivers. Its aging design also doesn't help in justifying its price. So yeah, go avoid this car at all costs. 2023 Range Rover Land Rover. The Range Rover Land Rover is something that I will not always understand. Well, you see, multiple model years of the Range Rover have suffered from poor reliability ratings, often coming from reputable consumer market organizations like J.D. Power or Consumer Reports. In fact, the 2023 United States Vehicle Dependability Study has pointed to Range Rover as the least reliable car brand right now. I mean, this is not a statement that you can shrug off just because you are a Land Rover fanboy. Based on that study, it was found that the Land Rover has sunk lower than the automotive industry average when it comes to reliability. In particular, the reliability average in 2023 is 186 problems per 100 vehicles of the same model. The 2023 Range Rover Land Rover had a reliability rating of 273 problems per 100 vehicles. That number alone tells that this off-roading large SUV can catch multiple mechanical or electrical issues in its lifetime, which in turn would quickly depreciate its value. And again, it's not just the J.D. Power that echoed the same concern. The site Warranty-Wise has put the entire Land Rover at the bottom of its reliability ranking. I think it got a 20 out of 100 score from the said company due to the frequency of mechanical and electrical repairs that this vehicle needs for it to operate. Owners also reported that these failures are often out of schedule, which is a telltale sign that you should dodge this particular SUV before it could incur damage to your finances. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more gun videos like this, just click the subscribe button and notification bell. Take care and stay safe.